The devastating efficiency of combat drones in modern warfare has rewritten military doctrines worldwide. From Ukraine's fields to West Asia, these inexpensive weapons have proven that they are capable of neutralizing billion-dollar assets. And now, Iran aims to amplify this advantage with its groundbreaking drone carrier vessel. Our next report telling you more.
Drones have reshaped the battlefield. From Ukraine's skies to West Asia, these low-cost, high-impact weapons are proving deadlier than ever. Precision strikes, kamikaze attacks and relentless surveillance, drones are rewriting the rules of war. Now, Iran is taking this airborne menace to the seas. In a bold display of maritime muscle, Iran has thrust itself into an elite club of nations with advanced naval capabilities. The Islamic Republic's newest weapon, Shahid Baheshti, a sophisticated drone carrier, threatens to reshape naval warfare in the Persian Gulf and beyond. This 180-meter floating fortress represents Tehran's most ambitious naval undertaking to date, boasting capabilities that extend far beyond conventional warships. The vessel's year-long operational range without refueling poses fresh challenges to regional military dynamics. What sets this carrier apart is its versatility in launching an array of unmanned aerial vehicles, including the sophisticated Qaher drone, a miniaturized version of Iran's indigenous fighter jet. The vessel's adaptation from a commercial container ship to a military asset demonstrates Iran's growing prowess in naval innovation and its determination to counter Western maritime dominance. This development coincides with Iran's unveiling of an underground missile facility. Tehran says the facility has hundreds of cruise missiles capable of countering enemy destroyers' electronic warfare. Last month, Iran's Revolutionary Guard unveiled an underground naval base for assault boats operating in Iran's southern waters, which include the Gulf and the strategic Strait of Hormuz. The timing of this revelation, amidst escalating regional tensions, sends a clear message about Iran's military preparedness. Donald Trump has said he wants a verified nuclear peace agreement with Iran.
I really want to see peace, and I hope that we're able to do that. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. I'm not putting restrictions. They cannot have one thing. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if I think that they will have a nuclear weapon, despite what I just said, I think that's going to be very unfortunate for them. If, on the other hand, they can convince us that they won't, and I hope they can, it's very easy to do. It's actually very easy to do. I think they're going to have an unbelievable future.
The US president also denies he wanted to blow Iran to smithereens, describing such reports as greatly exaggerated. During his first term that ended in 2021, Trump withdrew the US from a landmark nuclear deal between Iran and major powers and reimposed biting sanctions. It'll be interesting to see if ties between Washington and Tehran improve or remain tense. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Our top focus on the show. Bangladesh is in turmoil and the signs are disturbing. A pro-Pakistan movement has consolidated its place in power and can indulge in violence without fear of intervention by vengeful authorities. The UNIS government has made no secret of its pro-Pakistan policies, but more important is the fact that a strong alliance of Islamist forces are working to reverse the independence of Bangladesh from Pakistan and perhaps create some form of an alliance that might make Bangladesh into a virtual East Pakistan. Well, last night, demonstrators torched the family home of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Bangladesh's founding father. Now, this house is not just bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the country's independence from Pakistan in 1971. It is also the site of the 1975 assassination of him and his family, an incident that had shook the entire nation. But before we go ahead, look at these visuals. After a night of arson, hundreds swarmed the site on Thursday, smashing remaining structures and essentially erasing a piece of Bangladesh's history. It was a message to the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The trigger? Her online speech to the supporters, which sparked the latest frenzy. She had challenged the interim government led by Mohammad Yunus, and demonstrators, many claiming to be students, turned to vandalism and arson. The rally was organized alongside a broader call dubbed Bulldozer Procession. But was this really an unrest led by students, or is there something more sinister happening in the country? You see, hours after the vandals torched and bulldozed her house, the ousted Prime Minister condemned the attack. Sheikh Hasina, who has been living in India since her ouster last August, questioned the motives behind the destruction. She said, and I'm quoting her here, "Why do they fear a house? We live for those memories of Dan Bondi. Last time, they set this house on fire. Now they're destroying it. Have I not done anything for this country? Then why such disrespect?" Unquote. But violence, mob justice, and an increasing pro-Pakistan slant are now the new normal in Bangladesh. The interim government has struggled to contain the violence and protect the minorities. Even Human Rights Watch, they have reported security force abuses, including detentions and threats. Mujibur Rahman is not the only founding president of Bangladesh. He is also a central figure to the country's history, showcasing a time when Bengali nationalism trumped Islamic nationalism. This is more than just politics at this point of time. Bangladesh has been slowly gravitating towards Pakistan. Just take a look at the pattern here. For the first time in decades, Victory Day celebrations on 16th December were muted. While delivering the Victory Day speech, interim government head Mohammad Yunus did not even mention Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Then, holidays marking his birth and death anniversaries have also been cancelled. His statues have been destroyed, and it does not stop here. The Yunus government has relaxed visa requirements for Pakistanis. Direct flights between the two countries have resumed after a gap of almost 6 years. In November, a Pakistan merchant vessel docked in Bangladesh for the first time in 5 decades. In yet another first, Bangladesh placed an order for artillery and tank ammunition from Pakistan. The current order for 40,000 rounds of ammunition and 2,000 rounds of tank ammunition. And this is far higher than the previous year's demand of 12,000. And Islamabad is more than happy to respond to this shift. The Pakistan High Commission has noted the Yunus government's intent to build closer ties. Even more alarming is the rise of Jamaat-e-Islami, which was banned under Hasina's government. It now feels emboldened and strengthened and is spearheading anti-minority demonstrations in Bangladesh. You see, the writing is on the wall. Pro-Pakistan elements in Bangladesh's bureaucracy, civil society and armed forces, they are steering the country back into Pakistan's orbit. And this is a far cry from 1971. That's when Bangladesh fought for its freedom, fought to break free from Pakistan's brutal military operation. And today, the threat may be internal, but the consequences could be just as devastating as ever. Move over from tariff for tariff as US President Donald Trump is now vying for a potential TikTok for tariff deal. In the latest to the escalating US-China trade deal, Trump has proposed allowing the Chinese app to continue operating in the US if it's parent company, ByteDance, cedes control of its US operations. A move that could shape global trade, technology and AI policies for years to come. From here on, it seems that Trump has two choices in front of him. Number one, either to negotiate a historic US-China trade deal or lead the US into an intense tech battle with China. As you know, Trump has been eyeing TikTok for a long time as an immediate prize. Back in January, Trump said he was in talks with multiple people over buying TikTok and would likely have a decision on the popular app's future in the next 30 days. He also said that there is a great deal of interest in TikTok. It's clear his immediate focus is on TikTok. But there's clearly more than what meets the eye, with the bigger issue being the growing divide between the US and China. And that is in AI and semiconductor technology, as US chip export controls will ultimately be key to any major deal. And with Trump's election victory reviving the possibility of a US-China grand bargain, Trump's decision on AI restrictions will have a direct impact on major companies like Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft and Taiwan Semiconductors. The Biden administration had imposed strict export controls to prevent China from accessing advanced AI chips. And now the question is, will Trump continue with these restrictions or negotiate a trade-off? Well, as the clock ticks down to Trump's April 5th deadline for avoiding a TikTok ban, another clock is ticking, that of a new technology Cold War. What will be the outcome? One will have to wait for it.